Okay, so right now, at this exact second, your body is quietly building a case. It's a biological reality that your nervous system has been meticulously collecting evidence day in and day out to prove a very specific point that the world around you simply isn't safe. It's filing away every slight, every moment of tension, every dropped ball, and every sudden noise, keeping you locked in this state of high alert. It's literally a relentless subconscious prosecution happening right under your nose.
Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to explore exactly how you can rewrite that subconscious threat model. We are going to dive into the truly fascinating science of biological signals of safety. By the end of this explainer, you're going to understand not just why your brain gets stuck on high alert, but how you can use a neurological concept called glimmers to actually rewire your nervous system and change the case against you from the inside out. Section 1. The case against you. Understanding survival mode. All right, let's dive into this. To understand how to fix the system, we first need to look at how it operates when you're stuck in survival mode. You see, whether it's from chronic stress, burnout, difficult relationships, or grief, spending way too much time in survival mode creates this massive negativity bias. Your biology effectively becomes rigged to expect the worst. And this brings us to a really core concept from neuroscientist Stephen Porges' polyvagal theory, which is neuroception. Basically, neuroception is your nervous system's constant subconscious scanning of the environment. Think of it as this biological threat detection system that absolutely never clocks off. It's happening below your conscious awareness right now. It's reading the room, checking the tone of my voice, and scanning for danger without you having to lift a finger or think a single conscious thought. And look, if you find yourself constantly expecting the other shoe to drop, I want you to remember this. Negativity bias is not a character flaw. It is an adaptation. If you've been under stress for a long time, a nervous system that only notices danger isn't broken. It's actually just being highly efficient at keeping you alive. You see, safety was never the emergency, so your body just stopped looking for it. You got incredibly good at surviving.
Moving on to Section 2, triggers versus glimmers, the signals of danger versus safety.
So let's see how this builds, because there's actually a flip side to this constant, exhausting scanning process. We know the system is looking for danger, right? But what happens when it accidentally stumbles upon the exact opposite? Let's slow down for a second here and look at the other side of the coin. We all know what a trigger is. Your body knows before your brain even does. A specific smell, a certain tone of voice, and suddenly you were just flooded with alert intention. But therapist Deb Dana introduced this inverse concept called glimmers. If a trigger is a biological signal of danger, well, a glimmer is a biological signal of safety. It's a micro moment where your nervous system registers ease, connection, and aliveness. It's a biological cue that, hey, right in this exact moment, you are actually okay.
Now, what's really interesting about these everyday examples is just how incredibly ordinary they are. We're not talking about winning the lottery or jetting off on a month-long meditation retreat. We are talking about the morning light coming through a kitchen window, or your dog leaning its weight against your leg. Maybe it's just the feeling of warm water on your hands at the sink. These are highly relatable, incredibly small, specific, and totally involuntary somatic experiences. You don't manufacture a glimmer, you just notice it happening. And I really want to make a crucial distinction right here. Experiencing a glimmer is not the same thing as keeping a gratitude journal. Gratitude is a cognitive exercise, right? It happens up in your mind. But glimmers are completely somatic. They happen down in your body. When you experience a glimmer, your vagus nerve, which is basically the two-way radio between your brain and your gut, registers a cue of safety. Your parasympathetic nervous system activates, your heart rate genuinely settles down, and your muscles physically soften. Section 3. Your brain predicting reality. The neuroscience of expectation. So, we know these tiny moments exist, but how do they actually change our biology? Let's bring in the science and look at how your brain processes these tiny moments of physical safety. This is where the neurology gets incredibly fascinating. I want you to ask yourself this. Is your brain passively receiving reality? Like, do you just open your eyes and take in the world exactly as it is? Well, according to decades of research by neuroscientist Carl Friston, the answer is a resounding no. Friston's work points to something called predictive coding. Your brain is not a passive receiver. It is an active prediction machine. It's running this continuous model of the world based on everything that has ever happened to you, and it checks all incoming data against that exact model. So, if your internal model says the world is not safe, your brain is going to actively hunt for evidence to confirm that exact model. It looks for what it already expects to find.
And this brilliantly illustrates why glimmers are just such a game changer. To a stressed out brain, a glimmer is literally a prediction error. Your brain expected a threat, but it got the warmth of the sun instead. It expected tension, but it got the comforting weight of a dog against your leg instead. When your biology experiences this mismatch between the expected danger and the actual safety, the internal model is forced to update, even if it's just a fraction. Section 4. Rewriting the threat model, building new neural pathways. Okay, so if the brain's model updates a fraction of an inch every single time it hits a prediction error, how do we use that to our advantage? How do we take these tiny moments of ease and use them to actively rewrite our nervous system over the long term? Neuroscientist Lisa Feldman Barrett takes this a step further. She found that emotions aren't just things that happen to you. Your brain actively constructs them using your past experiences as a template. And honestly, here is the absolute best news of this entire explainer. Because the template is actively constructed, the template is not fixed. It can be rewritten. Not with sheer willpower and definitely not with toxic positivity, but with new data. Glimmers are that new data. As the research shows, your nervous system built its case against safety over years of evidence. You're not going to dismantle it in a single meditation. You're going to dismantle it one glimmer at a time. Once you experience a glimmer enough times, your nervous system learns a completely new shortcut. Repeated exposure to these tiny safety signals actually builds entirely new neural pathways over time. This is biology at work, not just belief. Accumulate enough of them, and the whole model shifts. Section 5. The 4-step glimmer practice. How to start collecting evidence for safety. So how do we actually start intentionally collecting this evidence? I'm so excited to share this next part with you because it is a highly practical, accessible tool that doesn't require massive amounts of willpower or hours of free time. It's a simple 4-step practice. Step 1. Notice the physical sensation first. Where do you feel it? Is it a loosening in your chest? A quiet in your shoulders? Really notice the body. Now step 2, and the crucial point is right here. Pause for 20 seconds. Seriously, do not skip this. Your biology needs a full 20 seconds for the glimmer to properly register as a signal of safety. Just sit in it. Step 3, name it without inflating it. Just say to yourself, that was a glimmer. Keep the drama low. And step 4, do this 3 times a day minimum. We are training your neuroception to find safety just as efficiently as it finds threats. You know, the evidence for safety has always existed right alongside the evidence against it. You just need to start collecting it. So I want to leave you with this final thought. Look around the room you are in right now. Can you find one glimmer, just one tiny biological signal of safety? I'm going to stop talking now, and I want you to take 20 seconds to just notice it.